Hey guys, welcome to the 65th C programming tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be looking at another memory function called memset. And the memset memory function simply allows us to set a certain number of bytes at a certain address equal to some value. So we could just set like 30 bytes at some address equal to 0. Alright, and that's actually the first thing that we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and zero out an integer array. So we're just going to say integer array called nums, and we'll just go ahead and malloc some memory for this array. So we'll say size of int times 5. So there'll be 5 integers inside of our integer array. And right when we go here and malloc some memory, we have no idea what this memory is equal to. It could be anything. So if I go ahead right now and just print out the first integer inside of the array, I have no idea what it could be. So I'll just end the line and say nums at the index of 0 right here, and print it out. So I run this and it's just some random number, and if I print out the second number in the array, it's probably a different number yet. Yeah, we have no idea what these numbers are set equal to. So if we want to set every integer in the array equal to 0 as sort of a default value, we could go ahead and write a loop to loop through every integer inside the array and set it equal to 0, but there's actually a faster way of doing it. We can go ahead and call the memset function. And the memset function is located in the string header file, so just make sure that you have this included at the top right here. So we're just going to say memset, and we're just going to go ahead and pass through first the address of the memory that we want to change its value. So we're just going to say nums, since it's a pointer, and then the second parameter is the value that we want to set all of these bytes equal to, and we want to set all these bytes equal to 0. So we're just going to say 0, and then the final parameter is the amount of bytes that we want to set equal to this value at this address, and that would be this many bytes right here. So 5 integers at this address, which on my computer will be 20 bytes. So now after we set all of these bytes at this address equal to 0, then every integer inside of this array should be 0. So if I just go ahead and print out the first integer inside of the array now, it should be 0. So modulus I, end the line, and we just want to print out the first integer in the array. So nums of 0. And we run this and we get 0. Perfect. Alright, so let's just go ahead and take a look at this in Paint. Alright, so here is just our nums array, which is 20 bytes on my computer, and it's obviously on the heap. Alright, so right when we go right here and just malloc this memory, we have no idea what the value of all these bytes are. It could be anything, so I'll just put a question mark here. But then when we come down here and call memset, basically what it's doing is it's just setting every single byte inside of this array equal to 0. So it's just making all of these 0 right here. And it obviously does that for every single byte. So then we go ahead and print out the first integer in the array. We just print out these 4 bytes, and it's 0 obviously. And we can set the value of these numbers to be anything that we wanted. So we could make it 1 or 2 or 255 if we really wanted to. So let's just go ahead and create a different array. We'll create a character array. So we'll say character array called cars, and we'll just allocate an array of 5 characters, so times 5, and then we'll just say memset cars, and we'll say that we want to set every single character inside of this array equal to a capital A. And then we'll just go ahead and set this many bytes equal to that value. Alright, so after we set this memory, or every single byte equal to a capital A, then we'll just go ahead and print out, we'll say the third character inside of this array. So modulus C for character, and then cars at the index of 2 for the third character. So we run this, and we get a capital A. Alright, so one more thing that I actually wanted to show you is in the Windows header file, there's actually a macro defined called 0 memory. So if you're not on Windows right now, if you're on like Linux or Mac, just don't worry, you can just still follow along. This isn't really a major part of the tutorial. But anyways, there's a macro defined called 0 memory, and the zero memory macro will just zero out memory at a certain address for a certain length. And the zero memory macro actually internally calls memset. So if I were to just go right here and say int I and then just call zero memory on it, so zero memory, and the first parameter is just the address, and then the second is the amount of bytes to zero out, so size of int, and then after I zero out that memory, if I just print it out, I should just get 0 as my value of I. So modulus I for integers, end the line, and when I run this, I should just get 0. Perfect. And if we want to, we could actually define our own macro called zero memory. So I'll just show you like what zero memory actually is. So if we just go up here and say define zero memory, and it just takes 2 parameters. The first is just the address, so I'll say mem addr, and then the second is just the size in bytes. And all that the zero memory macro does is it just internally calls memset. So memset, and then the first parameter is just the address, so mem addr, and then the second is just 0, since we want to set every byte to 0. So we just put 0, and then the final parameter is just size. So that is all that the zero memory macro does. It just calls memset and always passes through 0 as the second parameter. So now if we just call our zero memory macro, it should do the exact same thing. So zero memory, address of I, and then size of int. So we run this, and of course we get the same thing. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial, so see you guys.